Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the top 50 stories from around the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, coming to you live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. In our top stories, Israel's military chief, General Herzi Halevi, has said to the troops that the airstrikes in Lebanon targeting Hezbollah could lead to a possible ground invasion. Israel and Hezbollah have exchanged near daily fire since the Gaza war broke out, but Israel has ramped up its attacks against Hezbollah in recent days. Israeli forces killed at least 72 people in Lebanon on Wednesday. The United States, the European Union, and several Arab nations have called for a 21-day temporary ceasefire in Lebanon. In a joint statement, the countries called for a diplomatic solution between Israel and Hezbollah. France and the United States proposed this 3-week truce at a UN Security Council meeting on Lebanon. Iran says that West Asia is on the verge of a full-scale war. This comes amid the rising tensions between Israel and Hezbollah. Iran's foreign minister warned that Tehran would not remain indifferent in the event of a war in Lebanon. He said that Israel had crossed all red lines and urged the UN Security Council to intervene. Meanwhile, former US President Donald Trump said that Iran should be destroyed if it harmed any US presidential candidate. His remarks came after US intelligence officials warned him of alleged assassination threats from Iran. During a campaign rally in North Carolina, Trump threatened to blow up Iranian cities if Tehran tried to harm any U.S. candidate. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has given her first solo interview as the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. She discussed her plan to give a boost to the American middle class. She also slammed Donald Trump for prioritizing rich people. Harris said that her strategy was better suited for the American economy. She also criticized Trump's views on abortion, which is another major election issue in the U.S. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, has been indicted on federal criminal charges. This comes following multiple probes into alleged corruption within his administration and over a slew of resignations of top New York City officials. Adams has denied any wrongdoing and says that he is innocent. And Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has survived a vote of no confidence in Parliament. The motion by the opposition Conservative Party was aimed at bringing Trudeau's government down. However, the opposition leader Pierre Poilievre has failed to get the support from leaders of two other political parties, the NDP and the Québécois Bloc. No more no confidence motions are expected in the coming weeks. Olympiad has been trying to topple Trudeau's 9-year regime after differences emerged in his coalition government. And the European Union has confirmed it will provide Ukraine a loan of about $39 billion. The loan is aimed at redeveloping the country's economy and its power grid. The group of 7 nations organized the loan package. In June, the G7 leaders had agreed for an amount of about $50 billion for Ukraine's survival. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met US President Joe Biden on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. He briefed Biden about the situation in Ukraine on the front line. Zelensky will again meet the U.S. President in Washington today to present the victory plan. Zelensky has accused Russia of plotting attacks on Ukrainian nuclear plants. He said this while addressing the United Nations. Zelensky said that Putin is aiming to disconnect the nuclear plants from the power grid. Zelensky has urged the world leaders to support Ukraine for a just and peaceful future. Meanwhile, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a nuclear threat to the West. Putin stated that if Russia is attacked with conventional missiles, it may use nuclear weapons. He said that Russia reserves the right to respond with nuclear force. He also noted that aggression against Russia, especially with support from a nuclear state, could be considered a joint attack. A Japanese warship reportedly sailed through the Taiwan Strait for the first time. The move was aimed to show the freedom of navigation. Vessels from New Zealand and Australia also sailed through the waterway on the same day. Beijing claims jurisdiction over the Taiwan Strait that separates the island from the Chinese mainland. Meanwhile, Taiwan detected 29 Chinese aircraft. At least 43 Chinese aircraft and 8 naval vessels also patrolled around Taiwan in just 24 hours earlier. And China regularly sends its warplanes, drones and naval vessels near the island. And on to some climate news now. Record rains have lashed India's financial capital Mumbai in the last 24 hours, bringing the city to a standstill. Rain-related incidents have claimed at least 4 lives. Schools and colleges remain closed as waterlogging issues persist in some parts of the city. The torrential rains have also disrupted public transport services. In the U.S. state of Florida, residents are bracing for Hurricane Helene. Now, according to local authorities, over 40 million people in Florida, Georgia and Alabama are under hurricane and tropical storm warnings. Now, Helene has devastated Mexico last night after making landfall in the country's Caribbean coast. It could now hit Florida as a Category 4 hurricane. And the mayor of Ecuador's capital, Quito, has declared a state of emergency amid the raging forest fires that have besieged the region. The flames have added to the woes of Quito residents who were already reeling under a historic drought. The forest fires have burned down homes and triggered the evacuation of over 100 families. A severe drought has hit Brazil's Amazon for the second consecutive year. The drought has dried up the lake Puraquara, one of the Amazon's main tributaries. The Rio Negro River registered a level of 15.5 meters. It is close to the historic low of 12.7 meters recorded in October last year. Fishermen are struggling to use their boats to move around the rivers in the Amazon rainforest. And the Prime Minister of the Pacific Island nation of Tuvalu, Tio, has sounded an alarm over rising sea levels. Scientists say that daily tides will submerge half of the main atoll of Tuvalu's capital of Funafuti by the year 2050. The capital is home to 60% of the country's residents, and Tio has called for international cooperation to address the issue. He sought support during a high-level United Nations meeting. And protests are taking place in the Baltic Sea off the coast of the north German city of Rostock. Greenpeace activists are protesting against an aging oil tanker called Seagull. The activists claim that the 21-year-old oil tanker carrying Russian crude oil has technical defects. The defects are in its fire extinguishing system and life-saving equipment. The activists also raise the issue of the tanker's poor condition and improper insurance. And protesters sprayed the pillars of Finland's parliament building red yesterday. The protests were to oppose the mining of peat in Sweden by a Finnish state-owned company. Peat forms in wetlands over thousands of years. It stores large amounts of carbon. Now, mining for peat leads to carbon emissions. And on to business and tech news. The artificial intelligence startup OpenAI is reportedly planning a major shift in its business model. The ChatGPT maker plans to transform into a for-profit corporation. As of now, it is controlled by a non-profit board. OpenAI's non-profit board will continue to exist, but it will own a minority stake in the for-profit company. The AI firm is also planning to award a 7% stake to its CEO and founder, Sam Altman. And several of OpenAI's key executives have left or announced their departure. The latest to announce her resignation is Chief Technology Officer Mira Murati. Now, she has been a part of OpenAI for over 6.5 years. Marathi even briefly served as the company's CEO last year. That was when Sam Altman was ousted by the board. In August, OpenAI's co-founder, John Schulman, joined its rival Anthropic. Now, other co-founders like Greg Brockman and Ilya Sutskever have also left the firm. And Meta's annual Connect conference is taking place in California. Futuristic gadgets and software was showcased yesterday. The firm unveiled the first prototype of its augmented reality glasses called Orion. Meta's CEO Mark Zuckerberg called Orion a time machine. The glasses are equipped with AI voice assistance, hand tracking, eye tracking, and a wristband interface. Now, Orion also allows users to control its functions using brain signals. Now, the share prices of the South Korean chip firm SK hynix surged by as much as 9% today. This is after the firm announced the mass production of a new computer chip that helps to power artificial intelligence. SK hynix has started producing a 12-layer memory chip called the HBM3E. The fifth-generation chip is significantly more advanced than its predecessors. The American investment firm Blackstone plans to invest over $13 billion in the UK. This is according to Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Blackstone plans to build a data centre in northeast England to power artificial intelligence. Starmer said that the construction of the data centre will create 4,000 jobs. The social media platform X is reportedly set to ask Brazil's Supreme Court to lift a ban against it. X, formerly known as Twitter, was banned in Brazil last month for not following a court order. Brazil's top court has been at loggerheads with X's owner Elon Musk over content censorship. X finally appointed a legal representative in Brazil last week, and X also started blocking accounts that the court had ordered it to. And the Vietnamese government says that Elon Musk's SpaceX wants to invest $15 billion in the country. This was announced during Vietnamese President To Lan's visit to the US. The investment is tied to Starlink, SpaceX's satellite internet unit. Starlink is still waiting for approvals to start its services in Vietnam. And the aeroplane maker Boeing and its workers' union will resume contract talks tomorrow. This comes just days after the union rejected Boeing's latest pay hike proposal. Over 30,000 Boeing factory workers in the US have been on strike since mid-September. They are demanding better pay and benefits. Meanwhile, the Boeing workers' strike has impacted the airplane makers' contractors as well. Spirit AeroSystems, one of Boeing's major suppliers, is reportedly planning to temporarily bench some workers. This is because work at Boeing's factory is stalled. Now, reports say that another Boeing supplier in the US, Parker Aerospace, has also furloughed some of its employees. American companies are reportedly preparing for massive logistical disruptions. And this comes as the current wage contract between East Coast shipping firms and their workers is set to expire next month. Talks between port operators and a union representing 45,000 workers remain stalled over a pay hike. The union has warned that it will go on strike from the 1st of October if a new deal is not reached. U.S. East Coast ports serve as a major transportation hub for several American companies. And moving on to sports, and we start with cricket. The Women's T20 World Cup in Dubai will witness an all-female panel of match officials. The panel consists of 10 umpires and 3 match referees. Claire Polisak is the most experienced official, as the 2024 World Cup will be her 5th. The tournament will take place from the 3rd of October to the 20th. And the retention rules for the Indian Premier League auction 2025 is set to be announced. Reports say IPL teams will be allowed to retain 5 players. The right to match, or the RTM card, will also be reportedly off the table. It allows teams to buy a player back by matching the highest bid made by another team in the auction. The 2025 IPL auction is expected to be held later this year. And the second and final test match between India and Bangladesh starts tomorrow. It will be held in the Indian city of Kanpur in the Green Park Stadium. According to a report, one of the stands in the stadium has been declared unfit and dangerous. It says that the stand is not strong enough to hold the weight of spectators. In football news, French striker Kylian Mbappe has been sidelined with a thigh injury. Reports say the Real Madrid forward could be off the turf for 3 weeks. This means he will miss Real's derby with Atletico Madrid on Sunday. Mbappe was substituted in the 80th minute during Real's fixture against Alaves. And Manchester United opened their Europa League campaign with a drab show. They started to a 1-1 draw against Dutch club FC Twente, and Christian Eriksen has put United ahead in the first half. FC Twente had ruined United's victory with an equaliser in the 69th minute. And several fans from the Italian club Lazio were banned from a Europa League match. This after German police seized weapons from them. The fans tried to evade a police escort in Germany's Hamburg city. Officers found knives, meat pounders, wooden planks, and other weapons. The items were confiscated during a search by riot officers. And over in tennis, Croatia's Marin Cilic has become the lowest-ranked ATP Tour winner after success at the Hangzhou Open. The 777th-ranked Cilic beat the 41st-ranked Zhang Zhizhen in straight sets. This was Croatia's first ATP title since 2021. After the Hangzhou victory, Cilic jumped more than 500 ranks and is currently 212th. And more details emerge related to Formula One legend Michael Schumacher's blackmail case. German prosecutors charged 3 men for blackmailing Schumacher's family. The main suspect demanded over $16 million to withhold private photos and videos. The images were from before and after Schumacher's 2013 accident. Schumacher hasn't been seen in public since that accident. The blackmail plot involved threats to leak the material if the family didn't pay. And India's chess Olympiad prodigies will receive a little over $380,000 in rewards. And this was announced by the All India Chess Federation yesterday. India secured a historic double gold in the tournament in Hungary this year. Each player from the men's and women's teams will receive nearly $30,000. Meanwhile, the captains will get close to $18,000 each. And baseball superstar Shohei Ohtani's 50th home run ball is up for auction at $500,000. Buyers can buy it outright for $4.5 million by the 9th of October. If bidding hits $3 million, the private purchase option would be off the table. A $4.5 million sale would break the record for the most expensive baseball to ever be sold. And last week, Ohtani became the first player to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a season. And in entertainment news, the Pulitzer Prize-winning writer Jhumpa Lahiri has turned down an award from the New York City's Noguchi Museum. This as the museum fired 3 of its employees who wore keffiyeh headscarves following an updated dress code. They wore the headscarves in solidarity for the people of Palestine. The museum said that they understand and respect her perspective. And rapper 50 Cent, along with Netflix, will produce the documentary series on rapper Sean Combs. The series will revolve around Combs' alleged involvement in sex trafficking and racketeering. The series is reportedly in production stage. Rapper Sean Combs was arrested on the 16th of September and is awaiting trial. Rapper Offset has accused his wife and rapper Cardi B of infidelity. He accused her by leaving a comment on her Instagram live session. Offset wrote that she cheated on her when she was pregnant. Cardi B filed for divorce from Offset in August this year. And British band Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin went undercover in Las Vegas to shoot the music video for the song All My Love. He dressed up as a schlumpy businessman who is on a bender. Martin took to stage and sang his heart out, with people chattering in the background. In the end, he revealed his identity. The song is a part of the band's upcoming album, Moon Magic. And Katy Perry said that she remains forever indebted to the Queen of Pop, Madonna. Perry revealed that Madonna has supported her since early days of her career. She revealed that initially Madonna tested her, and then she became super nice to her. Perry says if she is still able to do music at the age of 40, it is because of Madonna. And London's Madame Tussauds Museum has added Rihanna's wax figure to their collection. The statue has Riri's signature pose with Fulani braid and a baby blue dress that she wore at an award show. Museum officials say that the singer is a powerhouse of beauty, fashion and music. The statue will be open to the public from tomorrow. And South Korean singer Jae-hoon is all set for his mandatory military enlistment. The NCT boy band member will enlist on the 4th of November as an active duty soldier. As per his agency, he has applied for the Army's band and got accepted. And the UK has chosen Indian police drama film Santosh as its official entry to the Oscars for the Best International Feature category. The Hindi language film has been directed by Sandhya Suri, who is a British Indian film director. The story is of a widow who inherits her late husband's job as a constable. And Brad Pitt's team issued a statement after scammers posed as him online and cheated 2 women in Spain of over $360,000. They stated, and I quote, "It's awful that scammers take advantage of fans' strong connection with celebrities." Spanish officials arrested 5 people after the incident happened. And comedian Ellen DeGeneres revealed that she felt devastated after being labeled as mean. She says it matters to her what people think of her. The comedian also stated that the toxic workplace allegation made against her had affected her mental health. And that's a wrap on this edition of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.